In general, I'm a really big fan of JBL's portable speaker lineup, but when it comes to the headphones, that's a different story. You could have the best sounding headphones with the best battery life and the best active noise cancellation, but if they don't fit well, none of that matters. And that's pretty much my biggest issue with the JBL E65BTNCs. And poor fit isn't just an issue that's exclusive to the E65BTNCs. Even JBL's more expensive headphones like the Everest Elite 750NCs suffer from poor fit as well, but not as bad as the E65s. The E65BTNCs retail for $200, but I'm gonna have some better fitting options linked down below, namely the Sony Watcha 700N and the Sennheiser's 5.50 BTNCs. If you use those links, it really helps out the channel. And also, check out the numerous shelf down below. The JBL E65s come included with a 2.5 to 3.5mm audio cable, a micro USB cable for charging, and a pretty rugged carrying pouch. And overall, the build quality of these headphones is pretty decent. You've got a cool textured design on the plastic body panels, the headband is covered in a fabric mesh, which I personally like because it doesn't get jealous things like other headphones that have leather underneath their headband, and the faux leather used on the ear cups feels pretty good. The padding is too soft for my liking, but it's still pretty good. The headphones can be laid down flat or fold up, and the hinge that allows this is pretty well made. Like I said, build quality on these headphones is pretty decent. But when it comes to fit, that's a different story. I know I'm biased here because I do have a big head, but these headphones have a considerable amount of clamping force, and the ear cups don't apply even amounts of pressure around your ear. Instead, they place the majority of the pressure on the anterior portion of your ear, and this is both uncomfortable and annoying. And the reason these headphones do that is because of their hinge. The ear cups on these headphones swivel more than enough, but they don't have as much range of motion when it comes to pivoting. And other headphones that use a similar hinge design like the Beats Studio 3 or the Sennheiser HD1s might not sit as comfortably as headphones that have a fork design like the Sennheiser's 5.50 BTNCs or the Sony 700Ns. Headphones that have a fork design like this almost always fit very comfortably on your head as long as they don't have too much clamping force. When it comes to battery life, the JBL E65BTNCs are below average compared to other $200 ANC headphones. These headphones have a claimed battery life of 24 hours, but that's with ANC turned off. With ANC turned on, these headphones barely manage to hit 14 hours of playback time. But their Bluetooth connection is pretty stable, and since they have very little latency, these headphones are decent for watching video. The active noise cancellation on the E65s also does a pretty decent job of blocking out a good amount of low frequency sounds like road noise and a good amount of chatter. Objectively, these headphones block out more noise than the Sennheisers and Sonys. And so you can see firsthand, we're going to jump into an ANC test. If you have earbuds, put them in.
Noise cancelling. Noise cancelling.
But even though the E65s are able to block out the most ambient noise here, they have a considerable amount of cabin pressure. So much in fact that I can only wear these headphones for 30-minute intervals, and sometimes they just give me headaches. But I know that might not be the case for some people. When it comes to sound quality, my biggest issue with these headphones is lack of clarity. I can't help but feeling these headphones sound a little fuzzy, and when you crank the volume up higher, everything still sounds a little distorted. The soundstage is also a little narrow, instrument separation is a little weak, and these headphones do tend to sound a little shallow. The bass on these headphones is also a little weak, and since these headphones don't connect to JBL's Headphones app, you can't directly change their EQ settings. Now let's talk about those control buttons. Their layout is perfectly fine. They're easy to find and they're easy to tell apart from one another. But what I don't like about them is that you have to press and hold the volume up or volume down buttons for a few seconds to skip or go back a track. This just takes too long compared to most other headphones out there. Instead, I would like if we could just double press or triple press the center button to skip or go back a track. But instead on these headphones, if you double press the center button, you activate your voice assistant. And this is pretty annoying because since I'm so used to like double pressing the center button to skip a track, I end up activating Siri by accident. And as always, Siri is never really useful. Alright, and here's the microphone test. And long story short, I just want to take phone calls with these headphones because there is a considerable amount of static. But this audio clip is being recorded by the microphone on the JBL E65BTNCs, so you can be the judge of that. So overall, I have to give the JBL E65BTNCs credit where credit is due. Their build quality is decent and their active noise cancellation blocks a considerable amount of ambient noise. But since these headphones just don't sit well in your head, and combined with the fact that the ANC on these headphones have a lot of cabin pressure, these headphones are just very uncomfortable to wear. And when choosing headphones, comfort is the most important thing to take into consideration. But since the battery life on these headphones is below average compared to other headphones on the market, and since their audio quality lacks clarity, I just can't recommend these headphones. If you made it this far, I guess you enjoyed the video, so hit that like button and get subscribed. It helps out more than you realize. Support the channel by clicking on the links down below, and I'll catch you next time.